I'm starting to see some people joining in the stream today. You guys, it's Friday. It's our day before the weekend. We're indoors because it's raining outside. So I'm glad to have you here. But today we got our boot camp here. What we're going to need are some heavy weights. And I'm going to have you stick with heavyweights. I guess if you want to, of course, always have a set of reduced weights, those medium-sized weights on standby. You're always more than welcome to do that. But yeah, guys, I think heavyweights for our crowd should be able to get us through today. And we're going to go ahead and get started here in a couple of minutes. Carol, hey, great to see you. And I'm glad that you're not sore today because we got our Friday workout here about to kick off. If you didn't hear me before, I think heavyweights should get you through the day. Of course, as always, if you want that set of mediums on standby, they're going to be able to be used. But I think heavyweights will get us the distance today. And we're starting here in just less than a minute right now. And right there, we're going to go ahead and start here with our arm circles. Keeping those feet pedaling, you can even choose to walk back and forth, pace in your space if you'd like to, but I at least want those feet to be pedaling. And of course, we start small, we get bigger, and we go small. Obviously, a smoother transition through there, but there we are, guys. Just starting off with those arm circles, keeping those feet moving. Jessica, great to have you in as well on this Friday here. Indoors, out of the rain. That's where we like to be. In case you didn't hear it as well, heavyweights, I think, should get us through today's class. Of course, medium weights can always be on standby. But right there, guys, we should be returning back to center here. So let's go ahead, doing the same thing, but now we're going backwards, focusing on getting that chest stretched too as that arm starts to reach back, getting that upper back activated again as that arm starts to increase in diameter. Take a few reps there at the top and then start to dwindle it back down for me. Again, enjoying that chest stretch all the way back, because now you're going to start giving me those hamstrings and that chest opener, starting to ramp up the speed here a little bit. And again, goal is to stretch out that chest, activate that upper back here, bring those shoulder blades together. I'll say it every time, so you'll hear it a lot, but again, we like to focus on those postural muscles, making sure we are paying attention to those back tighteners, getting those shoulder blades together so we can have proper posture throughout the day, avoiding any shoulders that like to round over. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but that can happen when we're spending a lot of days at work. And then right there, guys, go ahead. You're going to start giving me some squats. These squats can be pretty normal speed like I was just doing. If you want to ramp the speed up, that's all right. But again, taking a few slow reps in there as well. That's just to get a little stretch in the quads, the hamstrings, and the glutes, and so that you can pay attention to how those stretches are going. And right there, guys, go ahead and start giving me those calf raises here at the top as well. Calf raises at the top of those squats. Feeling free or feeling encouraged to get as high as you can on those calf raises, and then control them on the way down as well. Get a nice little stretch eccentrically through those calf muscles at the same time. And right there, guys, you can go ahead and start hugging in those knees for me, just hugging in those knees. grabbing by or behind the knee as opposed to in front of it, so that we're not trying to bring that lower leg up into that upper leg. We're just focusing on that glute stretch as well as that hip flexor control on the way down. And right there, guys, just go ahead, rock the ankle for me a little bit, sitting back on those heels, coming up on those toes, getting a calf raise, then a bit of dorsiflexion on the way back. Feel free to move the body as needed to maintain balance. Main goal is that ankle movement, not so much posture throughout the body. And right there, guys, go ahead, start giving me some lunges here, forwards or backwards, varying the speed just like those squats. You can take it fast, normal speed, or slow. Sometimes I like to especially get some slow ones in here so I can focus on some hip flexor stretching as I'm coming down there as well, making sure to maintain that torso, that trunk stability, going up here, avoiding as much as possible, over leaning forward and especially bending at the spine. Of course, a slight incline is normal, so you don't have to be perfectly straight if you have to do a little bit of incline, but again, avoiding that over crouching position. And then, guys, right there, go ahead, widen the feet out here, just shuffling side to side. Main goal here is to stretch those interior thigh muscles, those adductors. So if you want to hang on one side, feel free. If you got to come up a little bit because the glutes are feeling it, that's all right. But again, main goal is to get that stretch right there. If you're feeling pretty loose, feel free, though, to keep going back and forth, keeping that a little bit more dynamic. And right there, guys, go ahead. Give me those hip openers. Bring that knee from the inside out. Stretching those adductors, that interior thigh, activating the glutes here. And the same thing, opposite direction. Now we're activating that interior thigh muscle, stretching the glutes a little bit more, working those hip flexors a whole time. And break right there, you guys. Grab me some water. We're starting here in our first set in just a moment. Our first activity, our first set, guys, is going to be caterpillars, followed by a couple different sets of push-ups or bench press. Those bench press and push-ups are going to be either wide and then to narrow. Followed by that, we'll have tricep extensions just to give a little bit more focus on the triceps. Followed by a curl over, coming up to give me a row and a bicep curl. Catch your breath here, guys, a little bit more. Find your space ready. And then you're going to give me caterpillars, inchworms, plank walkouts, however you want to call them. You can walk out with the hands or walk back with the feet. Doesn't matter to me. Again, goal is to get those hamstrings a little bit of flexibility and start to warm them up a little bit more. But let's go on 3, 2, and 1. You can do a push-up if you so choose at the bottom, but once again, we'll be pretty much going into a push-up / bench press here, I think, in a second. So don't feel like you have to. And again, the other option would be to walk those feet out and back, depending on what you feel is the most comfortable for you at this time. I want you guys to get about 2 more reps for me here. 2 more reps. We're heading right down to the mat. And 3, 2, and 1. If you finish off a caterpillar and you're in that plank position, feel free to stay down here, guys. But right now, we're going into that push-up, again, or bench press situation where we might have a normal press where those arms are about out just at shoulder width. We're going to take them 1 to 2 hand spaces out. Again, this could be a bench press or a push-up. After that, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to walk our hands about 2 places in, either with that bench press or with that push-up. Guys, we're going to start here wide, though. Start here wide in 3, 2, and go ahead for me, guys, right there. You can take them normal push-ups. You can come down to the knees if you want to. Feel free to cheat your way up if at any point it starts to get a little bit too challenging. If you're, again, doing those push-ups, and you can just control it more on the down portion. Still going to work that chest, that tricep anger. It's just going to be less concentric if we're struggling to push ourselves back up. And of course, if we got these dumbbells, again, we're just a few hand places out, still being mindful of keeping our elbows just a soft touch on the ground. Right there, guys, go ahead. Quick break here. We're going into those narrow presses now, where those weights can pretty much be touching, or those hands can pretty much be touching either. Sometimes people like to do diamonds. If you want to keep a little bit more separation, that's all right. But guys, let's go ahead and start in 3, 2, go ahead for me right there. So again, if you're doing these dumbbells, just stacking those weights nice and tight together. This is going to be a little bit more tricep work, which is awesome for us, because after this, we're going into those tricep extensions. So we went first wide. This gives us more chest. We came in a little bit more narrow, giving us a tricep. We're going to finish off with a bit of more tricep burn here with that extension in just a moment here, guys. 15 seconds for me. Same thing applies if you're starting to fail on those push-ups. Cheat yourself up. Just control the negative, the down portion for me. And 3, 2, and 1. Right there, guys. 1 weight or 2. We're going to have our dumbbells, though, up in front. Skull crushers here for me, guys. Let's start in 3, 2, and begin for me, guys, right there. Keeping those dumbbells under control, keeping those elbows locked as well. Trying to avoid letting them go too far back or too far forward. Again, just keeping those elbows locked nice and tight. Just watching that flexion movement. And right there, guys, go ahead. Quick break here. Like I said, after that, we're coming up again. And you're giving me that pullover movement. What I want you to make sure of here is that your belly button is being pulled down to the ground. Your spine is staying neutral so that we're not overextending the spine as we're starting to reach back. Keeping that trunk stability. Let's go ahead and start. 2, 1, right there, guys. Just soft touches with those weights if flexibility allows us to touch the ground. But if you start to feel that back start to arch, that's where you want your range of motion to stop. Halfway there for me, guys. Halfway for me. Again, after that, you're coming on up here. We got rows in a second, but you're still going. 10 seconds for me, guys. 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll have you guys come on up right there. Nice transition here. Nothing fancy. Rows coming at us. We'll start those in 4, 3, 2. Pinch those shoulder blades first. Then drive those elbows, keeping those shoulder blades nice and tight together the whole time. And just driving those elbows up towards the ceiling. Again, the deeper you hinge at the spine or hinge at the hips while keeping that, again, of course, straight spine, the more difficult it's going to be than if, let's say, we're trying to keep our body straight, we're going to have just less range of motion here. So again, deeper we can get, driving those elbows up, under control, that's what we like to see. And I want everybody holding at the top in 2, 1, just right up there, guys. Holding the elbows as high as you can. Checking every few seconds here to make sure that you haven't lost an inch. That's really crucial in this component. Holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, one more activity. Break after this. Just bicep curls here. Bicep curls, feel free to stagger the feet a little bit. If you have them nice together, you start to notice that swing. Stagger the feet, but guys, you're joining me already. Let's just curl in those biceps. Controlling the weight the whole time, especially on that down portion, that's where we might lose a lot of strength potential. Right there, guys, I want everybody holding that arm parallel to the ground right there, holding it parallel to the ground. And 3, 2, 1. Relax right there, guys. Grab me some water here. We're going to be back in a moment. Alrighty here, guys. You guys are still giving me that rest period. After this, guys, we're going to have a back and forth transition, something we've done in the past. We're going squat to either a squat hold or a wall sit. I'll be utilizing a wall sit because I have the wall behind me. But again, if you don't have the wall, just give me a normal wall hold. We're going to do that back and forth a few times. Going into side lunges after that. Main goal here is just to make us not feel comfortable in our legs. If you ever feel like you need a break, either from the wall for the hold, just give me normal squats. And if you ever need a break entirely, feel free to take it, shake it out a little bit, give me a couple quad stretches, some glute stretches, grabbing some water. Again, this is your time, but weights here are going to be optional. Once again, to start us off here, we're doing a series of just back and forth squat normals, to wall sits or squat holds, back and forth, ending it off with some side lunges. Guys, let's get ready to start that here in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and right there, guys. Squats here. Making sure we're sitting back on those heels. Squeezing with the glutes on the way up, guys. That's crucial here because a lot of us are going to start to feel it first in the quads. So as much focus mentally and physically as we can give to those glutes here is going to make this process so much easier. But in 10 seconds, guys, we're transitioning to the wall. In 10 seconds, we are. 3, 2, 1. Guys, we're getting ready on that wall here. Let's get in position in 2, 1. Sitting. We're on the clock right here, guys. Pressing again through those heels, not through those toes. Knees stay wide apart. And if, again, we don't have a wall here, we're just in a normal squat hold, you guys. If you want to give me a little pulse, if we're holding that squat, that works too. But we're halfway done, guys, with this first hold. And we're going back in pretty much, coming off the wall, coming out of that squat, shaking out a bit. I want us back into those squats here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out if you need to. Let's get back in position. And 3, 2, 1. Squats. Driving those hips all the way forward. I'm not giving you guys a count here. If you want to take these maybe a little bit quicker than a normal, it's going to depend on how much weight, of course, you're using at home. But that is up to you. Another 10 seconds, guys. We're back into those hold situations. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming out of that, guys. Find your wall. Get in position. 2, 1. Back down. breathing through. If we're on that wall sit, maybe we're doing some extra bicep curls if we're still holding those weights. Again, I just say that, not that you have to, because I know sometimes you guys like to keep your arms moving. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on off, guys. Shake it out for me because I'm having you do this set of movements one more time for me. Let's go in 2, 1. Just squats again, guys. Squats for me again. Keep that tension on those heels, or pressure back on the heels, tension in the glutes. Be mindful of that tension, guys. Sometimes just thinking about our glutes in this situation can help us fire them a little bit more. 10 more seconds, back to the wall. One more time, finishing off with some side lunges. I'll give us a little bit of RDLs as well, just so we can take a little bit of stretch. Come on up there, guys. One more time to the wall here. And 2, 1, sink. Sitting down there, right there, guys. Trying to keep those hands off the thighs, at least down here. Holding that weight maybe in our chest, if we have it, unless that's starting to bring our spine off the wall. Keeping it down here as you start to get a little bit more fatigued. 10 seconds here, guys. Again, after that, we're going to have 2 movement types of exercises so we can get that blood flow going nice and smoothly back through the body. 2, 1, come back off, guys. Side lunges here. I'm letting you guys shake it off. If you need to catch a sip, go for it. Those side lunges can either be normal dynamic, or you can plant those feet, come up and back, but make sure we're coming all the way up, full extension with the body. Start in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Of course, weights optional here. Again, these can be a little bit faster, a little bit slower, depending on your fatigue level right now. You guys, main goal here is just to get the blood flow going. The more weight that you're holding, or the more fatigued that you are, you're probably going to move slower, and you're probably going to want to move slower just so you can get that blood flow going nice and back to the muscles. Over halfway, guys, over halfway. After this, like I said, we're just doing some RDLs to get another nice stretch in the hamstrings, similar to like we did in the caterpillars at the start of class. 10 seconds for me. And 2, 1. Weights most likely going to be needed for most of us because I know how we operate. Again, back straight, slight bend in the knees. You guys can join me right here, right now. Full extension there at the top, you guys. Keeping those shoulder blades nice and tight together. Not allowing those shoulders to, necessarily shrug the weights, but we do want the little bit of tension there, almost like we were doing a farmer's carry with the weights. Of course, like I said, without the full contraction that you might do in a farmer's carry. So just a slight notice of that tension and bring it back down. Just utilizing your hamstrings and your glutes as your range of motion limiters. Drink of water, guys, for us after this here. You're giving me 15 more seconds, few more reps. Take them slow, especially if you're starting to feel that soreness. And 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys, right there, set the weights down, grab some water just while you're sipping, keeping those feet moving, however that may be. But we'll back in a second, guys. Guys, to finish this off, we're heading down on the mat, and we're staying down on the mat for at least the rest of our conditioning portion of the class. But we're first going into some Russian twists, weights optional. After that, we're going into penguins, plank to finish this off. So guys, you can meet me out down here, selecting a weight if you so desire one. Going into Russian twist, legs can be on the ground or up. We'll start in 2, 1, right there, you guys. Probably want a little bit more incline right there. So again, feet can be down, feet can be up, but you get our obliques activated. 10 more seconds, send down those weights, guys. We're going into penguins next. Again, focusing on those obliques, some of those side muscles to stabilize the spine. Right there, go ahead, set the weight down. Now we're into penguins. Now we're in this position with a slight crunch. Right away, guys, go ahead and join me right here. Some of us, depending on our feet position, if our feet are close enough to the body, might be able to touch the outside and the insides of our ankles. The closer inside, or the more basically you rotate to each side, the harder it will be. But if our feet are a little farther out, obviously we probably won't be able to touch our ankles there. And 4, 3, 2, 1, guys. Last activity for us. We're just flipping over, giving us that plank. It can be high or low off the forearms. Let's go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Checking here our alignment, making sure that we have a straight line from our shoulders to our hips to our ankles. Maybe with those hips a little bit higher, but not too low, not too high. Way to go, guys. Halfway on that plank hold, halfway on that plank hold. Just 10 seconds for me, guys. 10 seconds. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, go ahead right there. Relax. Grab me some water. We're down into a V stretch right after that. Again, we're hanging out on this V stretch a little longer. If you want to grab that sip of water, I'd say just keep it next to you, almost like you got your dumbbells right there. You can keep sipping throughout the entire cool down session right here. And right there, guys, I'm going to have you reach over to that left side. And we'll reach over to the right. And get me back down to center one more time. See if we can't get a little bit farther than we were when we last started that V stretch here. If not, that's okay. But sometimes we'll start to experience that relaxation sooner, and we just need to be aware of it so we can take advantage if it's there. And right there, guys, we're going to come on our backs, giving us this glute stretch here. One ankle and over the opposite knee. Pull in that bottom knee here. Figure 4 glute stretch. Great for the piriformis muscle, which is, if I was stretching this leg, would be right over here, pretty much off that hip bone, right off that, what is the, pretty much the outer upper protrusions of the upper leg. And switch for me. Give me that same thing, though, on the other side. While we're doing this, guys, you can always roll that far ankle. Give me a little at least plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, eversion, inversion, or just a full 360 rotation there, guys. And right there, guys, we're going to come on up here. We're going to find a wall, and we're going to give ourselves a nice chest stretch here. especially after those wide push-ups / bench press. Going to that narrow, it's good just to give ourselves a little bit of a stretch there. And switch forming, doing the same thing on the other side. And there, guys, I'll have you come on back to center to me. Stretching our, or we're going to get it ready for our forward neck here, giving me a few shrugs. If we need to, maybe stretching out that spine one last time. Take out a deep exhale. Bring that chin down to our chest, stretching the back of our neck. And right there, guys, we're going to raise it up. And then we're going to tilt our head the opposite direction. We're going to stretch the front of our neck here, chin to the ceiling. Turn to center for me there, guys. One ear, same side shoulder, side of the neck. And raise it up. Give me the same thing on the other side. And guys, that is it for us today. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Carol, Jessica, thanks for stopping in today. And I'll see you guys back next Monday. And yeah, hopefully the weather turns around and we're all able to get outside a little bit because those parks are starting to bloom a little bit. So otherwise, have a great one. I'll see you guys next time.